Burkina Faso is a nation undergoing profound change. It is located in West Africa. The country faces many complex challenges, including security threats and economic pressures. In this difficult context, a new leader has emerged. Captain Ibrahim Traoré took power in late 2022. He is one of Africa's youngest leaders. His arrival has signaled a potential new direction for the country. Many citizens are watching his actions closely. Traoré's leadership began after a period of instability. The country had seen multiple changes in government, public frustration was high, people were tired of ongoing violence, they also worried about the economy. Traoré promised to address these critical issues. His youth presented an image of fresh energy. Ibrahim Traoré's journey to the presidency was rapid. He was born in 1988 in Bondoukoui, western Burkina Faso. He initially pursued studies in geology at the University of Ouagadougou. However, his path soon turned towards a military career. He joined the army in 2010, a decision that would shape his future significantly. His military service provided frontline experience against jihadist groups in northern Burkina Faso. Traoré also served in a United Nations peacekeeping mission in Mali. By 2020 he had achieved the rank of captain, leading an artillery unit in Kaya. The political situation in Burkina Faso was volatile. In January 2022, President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore was ousted in a military coup. Captain Traoré was involved in this event, however the security situation did not improve as hoped, leading to further discontent. In September 2022, Captain Traoré led another coup, citing the ruling junta's failure to control insurgent violence. In October 2022, he was sworn in as interim president at the age of 34. His rise was remarkable, reflecting deep-seated issues within Burkina Faso. Under Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso's foreign policy has changed dramatically. A key decision was the expulsion of French troops in early 2023, ending Operation Sabre. This marked a significant break from past relationships, symbolizing a desire for greater national sovereignty. The government has actively sought new alliances, with Russia becoming a more prominent partner. Burkina Faso reopened Russia's embassy in Ouagadougou, and Traoré visited Moscow in May 2025. These meetings signal a deepening of ties between the two nations. Burkina Faso has also strengthened regional partnerships, forming the Alliance of Sahel states with Mali and Niger. This regional bloc represents a new geopolitical alignment in the Sahel, seeking African solutions to African problems. These foreign policy shifts reflect a broader trend among some African nations to diversify partnerships. Traoré's government articulates this as anti-imperialism and a quest for genuine independence. However, these changes also bring new complexities and different geopolitical dynamics. The long-term impacts of these new alliances are yet to be fully seen. The international community watches closely. A central theme of Ibrahim Traoré's administration is economic self-reliance. The government has taken steps to assert national control over its economy. In 2023, it announced it would reject new loans from the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. This decision aligns with a broader narrative of sovereignty, aiming to reduce foreign influence on national economic decisions. The government has focused on internal financial management, working to clear domestic debt and improve the state's financial health. Natural resources are a key area of focus, with the establishment of a state-owned mining firm to reduce foreign control over Burkina Faso's valuable mineral wealth. Gold is a particularly important export, with the goal of more profits benefiting the nation directly. Additionally, the administration has distributed farm machinery to support agricultural production, a vital sector for employment and food security. Infrastructure development is another priority, including the construction of rural roads and plans for a new airport. These initiatives require significant investment and are part of the self-reliance strategy. The success of these economic policies will be crucial for Burkina Faso's long-term stability. Addressing Burkina Faso's severe security crisis is a primary objective for Ibrahim Traoré. The country has been battling jihadist insurgencies for years, linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State. Violence has affected large parts of the nation, causing widespread instability. Thousands have been killed, and many more have been forced to flee their homes. Despite efforts to strengthen the military, challenges remain immense, with large areas still outside full state control. Insurgent groups continue to launch attacks targeting security forces and civilians. The humanitarian situation is dire, with more than 2 million people internally displaced. The government has increased recruitment into the armed forces and created volunteer defense units known as VDPs to support the army in protecting local communities. However, the use of VDPs has raised concerns about their training, command, and accountability. The security strategy is under constant pressure to deliver results. Military action alone is unlikely to solve the problem. A comprehensive approach involving development, reconciliation, and improved governance is needed. Restoring security across Burkina Faso is essential for any meaningful progress in other areas. While the government focuses on security, concerns about human rights have emerged. There have been serious allegations of human rights abuses by state security forces and volunteer militias. Reports have documented incidents of extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances. Civilian populations have sometimes been caught in the middle, suffering violence from insurgents and counterinsurgency operations. Ensuring accountability for any abuses is crucial for maintaining public trust and upholding the rule of law. The Traoré administration states its commitment to protecting citizens, but the space for dissent and independent media appears to be shrinking. Some journalists and civil society activists have reported facing intimidation, creating a climate of fear and limiting open discussion. A vibrant civil society and free press are important for good governance, playing a role in holding power to account. Balancing security imperatives with human rights obligations is a major test for the Traoré administration. The international community watches closely, as the long-term stability of the nation depends on justice and respect for fundamental human rights. This remains a significant challenge for the interim authorities. Ibrahim Traoré's government has actively invoked the legacy of Thomas Sankara, a revered former leader of Burkina Faso. Sankara was a charismatic revolutionary figure, serving as president from 1983 until his assassination in 1987. He is remembered for his anti-imperialist stance, championing self-reliance and social justice. A significant symbolic act was the inauguration of a mausoleum for Thomas Sankara in May 2025 in Ouagadougou. This project had been discussed for many years, and its completion under Traoré's leadership is noteworthy. By aligning with Sankara, Traoré aims to rally national unity and bolster morale, particularly among the youth. Sankara's messages of dignity, sovereignty, and grassroots development resonate strongly with a population frustrated with poverty and external dependence. Traoré often uses rhetoric similar to Sankara's, speaking of fighting imperialism and building a self-sufficient nation. Invoking Sankara's legacy is a powerful political tool, tapping into a deep well of national pride and providing a historical narrative for current policies. However, it also invites comparisons, and living up to such a powerful legacy is a considerable challenge. Ibrahim Traoré has cultivated a strong public image, particularly among the youth of Burkina Faso. His young age presents a contrast to older, more established politicians, appealing to young people disillusioned with traditional leadership. His direct style of communication and military fatigues project an image of a hands-on leader. His online presence is significant, with social media platforms featuring numerous tributes to him. Viral content often portrays him in a heroic light, resonating widely with youth across West Africa. Traoré is often positioned as a champion of resistance, standing up against perceived neo-colonial influences. This narrative is particularly potent in the current regional context, where many young Africans are frustrated by economic hardship and governance failures. Traoré's assertive rhetoric taps into this sentiment, articulating a revolutionary message appealing to a young population. However, this strong image also leads to concerns about the development of a cult of personality. While he enjoys considerable support, his authoritarian tendencies worry others. The focus on a single leader can overshadow institutional development, raising questions about the future of democracy and human rights. Traoré's popularity is undeniable, but its sustainability and implications for Burkina Faso's political future are still unfolding. Ibrahim Traoré's leadership has undeniably set Burkina Faso on a new course. Since taking power in October 2022, he has initiated bold changes in foreign policy, economic strategy, and national identity. His youth and assertive rhetoric have captured attention, garnering significant support, especially among younger Burkinabe. He projects an image of a leader determined to restore sovereignty and dignity, resonating in a country weary of crisis. The challenges facing Burkina Faso remain formidable, with the security situation still precarious and large parts of the country affected by insurgent violence. While new alliances have been forged, particularly with Russia, the long-term benefits are uncertain. The push for economic self-reliance is ambitious, requiring sustained effort and resources, as well as a stable environment to succeed. Concerns about human rights and democratic governance persist, with the fight against insecurity needing to balance fundamental freedoms. True national unity requires an inclusive approach, with space for diverse voices and perspectives. The concentration of power carries risks for the future, making the building of strong, resilient institutions as important as charismatic leadership. Burkina Faso is at a critical juncture, with the path chosen by Captain Traoré and his government having lasting consequences. The coming months and years will determine whether this new chapter leads to sustainable peace and development, with the people of Burkina Faso and the wider Sahel region watching with anticipation and, for some, trepidation. Ibrahim Traoré's leadership has set Burkina Faso on a new course. Since October 2022, he has initiated bold changes in foreign policy and economic strategy. His assertive rhetoric has garnered significant support, especially among younger Burkinabe. He projects an image of a leader determined to restore sovereignty and dignity. The challenges facing Burkina Faso remain formidable, with the security situation still precarious. New alliances have been forged, particularly with Russia, but the long-term benefits are uncertain. The push for economic self-reliance is ambitious, requiring sustained effort and resources. Concerns about human rights and democratic governance persist. True national unity requires an inclusive approach with space for diverse voices. The concentration of power carries risks, making the building of strong institutions crucial. Burkina Faso is at a critical juncture, with the path chosen by Captain Traoré having lasting consequences. The coming months will determine whether this new chapter leads to sustainable peace and development.